folks. Andrew here. Popcorn and whiskey. That's right. I am here. I am the face who runs the place. We are live doing this cool little different intros. See if I got this all taken care of and it fades out. Then I'll just stop it here before it comes back on. Okay, there we go. And yes, this is a rare Thursday night or Thursday evening. Oh, wait, I got to do my celebratory salute. Cheers. Here we go. I got this evening from my very own special. See if you can even see this or not. Look at that. This has my dad's name on it. My very own whiskey bottle. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. So I'm coming on tonight because I just want to talk about Thanksgiving a little bit and all the folks who are out there doing things and helping people and all that good jazz. Okay. And yeah, there's all kinds of people out there who are throwing up videos of thankful for this, thankful for that, which are great. And I've been watching them periodically this evening, and it's been really nice to see all that. And so I said, you know what, I needed to come on as well. But I wanted to go a little bit deeper into it. Oh my gosh, I just realized something. I have this on here. Huh. Oh well. Yeah, that is my other brand, by the way. So, but I'm using this microphone. So I hope you all can hear me. If you can hear me, give me a shout. One of those kind of things. I would assume you can at this point. And if you couldn't, I would assume somebody would have jumped on here by now and said, hey, I can't hear you. But anyway, something I heard today, and I wanted to get into a little bit this evening, is positive versus negative. Positive versus negative thinking, more or less, especially going on around the globe in this country. And I'm currently in the United States of America right now. Right now, I probably will be tomorrow as well. And for the foreseen future, I'll probably be here for a while as well. But when you stop and when you stop and start thinking about your thinking, positive versus negative, we can say that the last few years, let's just say the last 10, 20 years or so, especially the last 10 years, you can say that there's a lot more violence going on, a lot more negativity going on, a lot more bad news going on. You can say that. But in reality, is there really? And I don't have any stats or figures or anything to prove it one way or prove it the other way. I'm just throwing out some stuff for you guys to think about tonight. And I keep looking over this way because I do have some notes written down. So, oh, by the way, if you want to be thankful for having popcorn and whiskey part of your life, there's no popcorn night, just a whiskey. Look over here, right over there. Buy me a drink or a cup of coffee. Go to andrewpleto.com/drink. Or you can just go to andrewpleto.com and you can see all the different things that you can look at for me over there. And one of them is buy me a cup of coffee or buy me a drink. Get over there and do it. Say hi while you're at it. And I would really appreciate it. Once again, we can have a drink together. But this negative thinking, this positive versus negative thinking, all the violence out there, everything happening. Let me throw this question at you. Tell me whether you agree or disagree with this. Could it be that there is not more negativity or not more violence? And I just heard the word violence on there. And it could it be there's not more of it? It's just we are more easily exposed to it from the speed of, first of all, the internet and the media. Could it be that we're more exposed to it? And some could argue that we have a lot less violence now than we did 20 years ago. There's arguments about that. Again, I don't have stats one way or the other. But when you think about it, now that everything is at our fingertips, I mean, we can literally pop on the internet and go any place on the globe, and we can find live streams of something happening. whether it's somebody's backyard, whether it's an ocean view, whether it's a street view, whether it's a pub, whether it could be an underwater camera, it can be a nature preserve camera, it can be an eagle cam, it can be anything out there. And that's something we did not have 20 years ago. I would argue that we didn't have that 10 years ago. So could it be because we have more access to seeing things? That's why we see more violence and negativity and the bad stuff. I mean, for the nightly news, whether you watch it or don't watch it, there's a saying with the news: if it bleeds, it leads. It's so news always exemplifies, if that's even the right word here, exemplifies the negative. Watch the news, and you will be depressed at the news. Most newscasts, yes, they like to leave it at the end on a up note of a positive or uplifting local story or something of that sort. But for purposes of the news, the rest of it is all negative. So if you watch the news, and I'm not bashing the news, it is what it is. I mean, it's a proven system after all these years that this is what people tune into for whatever reason. People tune into all the negativity, all the violence, all the bad stuff. And which all the good stuff is out there, people try to seem to shy away from it for whatever reason. And a lot of people say, "Yeah, Andrew, now you're going to start talking all this woo-woo stuff." Well, I might be, because the what we need to do, in my opinion, as a society, especially on this day of giving thanks, because and that's what got me thinking about it. Everyone is out there. Not everyone. A lot of folks are out there giving thanks again, and it's touching. It was nice to see. I really appreciate everyone out there doing that. But what happens tomorrow? The thanks and the giving are not going to be as prevalent as it was today. It won't. People will start going back to the negativity, and it all starts up here. You're either going to be a positive person or you're going to be a negative person. Where's it going to be? Especially in this country right now. And when you think about this country, and this is what I want to transition into a little bit too, is the stuff happening job wise, employment wise, business wise. Whether you think that it's going great or you think it's not going great is irrelevant, because here's what I want to talk about a little bit, getting into it. If you are a positive person, you will see opportunities everywhere, whether that be financial opportunities, whether it be romantic opportunities, whether it be bettering your health opportunities, whatever. If you're looking at it through positive eyes, you're gonna find it. If you're looking at it through negative eyes, you're not. You're gonna keep saying, "Oh, woe is me! Oh, woe is me! Oh, I can't do this. I don't want to try to take that test because I'll fail. I don't want to do this because it just doesn't work for me. Blah blah blah." Okay, great. Maybe it doesn't, but once you start verbalizing it, you're right. It won't happen for you. But the opportunities are there. If somebody wants to go out and grab that opportunity and bring it back, it's there. Whether they do anything with it or not, it's a different story. Is it easy? Absolutely not. And I'll be the first one to tell you, this internet stuff, especially if you're trying to make a dollar online, it is not easy. The process of doing it is easy. The experience I have, and I can tell you, getting behind this microphone and doing what I do, for me, it's easy. A lot of people are petrified to talk on this microphone. I'm extremely comfortable on here. Has it garnered enough exposure for me to, why am I whistling? Garnered enough exposure for me to generate a livable wage off of it? Got to be honest and say at this point, no, it has not. Is that because this system doesn't work? You can't say that because there's example after example after example after example of people who do make it work. You can say that about anything. My buddy JD, I interviewed him last week. He is unfortunately he's in a position where he's confined to a wheelchair. Does that mean that he can't succeed? Absolutely not. The dude is thriving, and he's an example out there. So don't ever tell me because you are not able to do something that it can't be done. If somebody else has done it, it can be done. Now, whether you choose to do it or follow those footsteps or do whatever, it's totally up to you. So I bring that up because if you want to succeed at something, whether it be talking on a microphone, whether it be learning how to make this stuff, whether it be writing a novel, would it be better to talk with somebody who's never written a word in their life and ask them how to write a novel? Or do you think that Stephen King could give you a little more in-depth knowledge of what it takes to write a novel? I don't know Stephen King. I don't know what kind of guy he is, but he has the knowledge to do so, right? Okay. If you're wanting to make this stuff right here, if you're wanting to learn how to make that, would it be wise to, I'm going to give an example here. Would it be wise to go to your local liquor store and ask the part-time cashier how to make it? Or would it be wise to talk to this person? Chances are it'd be wise to talk to this person. Her name is Heather Green. Chances are she's like a master distiller. She's a sommelier, a spirits sommelier. She is very, very sought after. This is a great book, by the way, too. So, hey, Heather, if you're out there watching, I'd love to talk to you about it. I'd love to interview you sometime. All right, hold on, folks. All right. I'm a professional. Don't try this at home. There. Okay. So that's my point. If you're wanting to attempt to do something out there, would it be wise to talk to somebody who's done it? Yeah, it would be. But there's so many people out there who want to talk to the folks who have not done it or who have attempted and failed to do it. And the ones who have failed at doing something that you want to attempt, they can't help but tell you it doesn't work. Why? Because they failed. Now, if they Mike, less whiskey, more popcorn. Dude, I didn't pop any popcorn tonight. Sorry, my friend. Mike is a prime example is what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to get into the last names, Mike, but I know him on a one-on-one basis. We have talked several times and emailed and messaged extensively, quite a bit. He's a perfect example. He is in a position where he's doing something to better himself, and instead of listening to the folks that say you can't do it, he's contacted me. Or I've contacted him, vice versa. However, it worked, and I'm throwing out the words of encouragement to help him along because I know he can do it. He just needs to believe it in himself. And for what's going on right now, and I'm not going to get into a lot of the personal details. He knows he can do it. Is it going to be tough? Absolutely, but he's in a position where he's doing it. And why? Because he's talking to the right people or he's listening to the right kind of things. And yeah, negative stuff is being thrown at him left and right. And he can say that about anybody. I'm not singling my buddy Mike out because life happens to everybody. I mean, if you line up 100 people and ask them what their biggest problem is or biggest challenge or biggest issue, however you want to phrase that, everyone's probably going to say something different. And chances are you probably don't want to trade with somebody else. Chances are it's not going to happen that way. Mike, I can't say that. I'm not going to say that. Okay, he says, feel free, share away. All right. Mike says, I got to take a drink first, Mike. This is a good one. Mike says, and I'm going to read, I'm not going to put your quote up there because I don't want people knowing your last name. Hey, Leon. Mike says, I'm a fatty and I need some help losing weight. I ain't asking the fat chicks with the Diet Coke either. That's right. He's asking their dude drinking whiskey online. Here's what he's doing. Yeah, I know, Mike. They can read. I get it. I get it. But my whole point is here, Mike. And thanks for letting me use you as a prime example here. You want to talk to somebody who's going to either one, been there, done that, or two, encourage you to keep going, follow what you want to follow, whatever that means to you. Again, not everything's going to come easy. I'll give you a good example at this point. If anybody follows my online top fitness strategies, I've been at this for a long time. I probably have more videos out there than most people in my industry. I have more podcasts out there than most people in my, I don't want to say industry, my field, things of that sort. The financial rewards aren't as abundant as other folks. I mean, I see other folks out there who have 2 videos, 3 videos, maybe a couple of podcasts, and they have a gazillion followers. How? I don't know. Do I ask them? Yeah, but not all of them want to give me the secret. But there's 1,000 people out there who tell me it can't be done. Absolutely, it can't be done. I was talking to somebody yesterday who wanted to consult me. Okay. All right, I talked to him. Mike, I didn't realize anybody couldn't read comments. Yeah, okay, Mike. So anyway, I was talking to a consultant yesterday who's from South Africa, and he was asking me all kinds of direct questions about my business, which I wouldn't answer. And I told him, I'm not going to answer all these direct questions because I don't know you. Now, one question he asked, how long I've been doing this, and I told him. He says, well, why haven't you given up after all this time? I understood why he was saying it, because he wanted to know where my head was with this. Now, I ended up not going with him because there was something odd about the fellow, and I didn't care for it. It didn't feel right in my gut to work with him. But the whole point was he was asking me these questions about my business, and when I told him how long I was doing it, he just was shocked that and the financial windfall coming from it at this point compared to the length of time I've been doing it. He couldn't understand the two. He says, obviously there's something that we should be able to tweak. And I said, okay, if you're that sure and you want to consult me, all right, let's do it as a, what do they call it? Pro bono. I said, because there's too many guys out there, too many other folks out there who claim to be able to do the same thing you're doing. So put your money where your mouth is. And he didn't like that kind of attitude towards it. But okay, all right. I said, I don't know you from a hole in the wall. You contacted me out of the blue. I agreed to meet with you. And now all of a sudden, because of a 15-minute conversation, you expect me to think that you're the best in the world at what you do? Sorry, it doesn't work that way. But anyway, so that's the whole thing about find somebody who will encourage you. Find somebody who's going to stick behind you. Find somebody who is not going to speak negative about what you're doing. A good example, or one that I heard the other day, and I lived this as well. And Mike, I'm going to use you an example for this as well. Let's say you're in a position that you want to lose weight, whatever that means. Maybe 5 pounds, maybe 50 pounds, maybe 100 pounds. I don't know, whatever that is for your particular situation. And I'm not pointing fingers at anybody in particular. Just you being this fictitious person out there, Mr. Joe Lunchbucket wants to lose weight. Mr. Joe Lunchbucket changes his diet. All of a sudden, he starts eating differently than he has. people start noticing his diet change, not his physical appearance, but his diet change. All of a sudden they're saying you shouldn't eat that. That's not healthy, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's say you want to go strict carnivore. By that, I mean you're only going to eat meat, eggs, and fish, and chicken, and kind of meat or fish or eggs and butter. All right, that's basically strict carnivore. People who don't understand what the strict carnivore diet is will say you're crazy. Don't do it. That's bad for you. But these same people, when Mr. Joe Lunchbucket was eating the Starbucks 5 days a week, the double, triple Mocha Loco Choco Moco at Starbucks. Yes, I said Starbucks. Get over it. Eating the bagels, eating the donuts, getting the burgers, getting the fast food stuff. They weren't saying at that point, hey, that's bad for you. You shouldn't eat that. Well, why weren't they? Because they don't know any different. Mike, you lost 125 pounds. Dude, dude, that's great, my friend. Keep it up, man. All right. That's awesome. So if these people, my whole thing is that these people were so concerned about your eating habits now that you've changed them and are looking toward the better thing, and they don't understand what that is, why were they not concerned when you were eating the crappy stuff? Right? I get it, especially if it's a mother or a father. I get it. They're looking out for you. They don't, especially if they're, of course, if they're older. If they've never been exposed to it, and all of a sudden they see you changing things, what makes them think that what you're doing differently is going to be better? If they've heard all along it's not, and they haven't done the research on it. Mike, oh geez, okay. Mike just said he lost 125 pounds to start. Then unfortunately, she took her long red hair with her. She had long red hair, dude. All right. And she took her with her. Goodbye. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. That's the way I look at it. Absolutely. But that's the whole point of everything. You change because you want to better yourself, whatever that means to you. Okay. It could be all kinds of different things, but all of a sudden, if you're doing something that people don't understand, or two, don't agree with, they're going to tell you that that they're going to tell you they don't agree with it, or they're going to tell you it's bad for you. Especially in terms of dieting, in terms of nutrition, I should say. But if they haven't done it or looked into it outside of what their doctor tells them for 5 minutes twice a year, all right, no, don't eat red meat, or eggs are bad for you, or don't drink alcohol, whatever. Does that mean it's good, bad, and different? When it comes to health and fitness, am I the role model of health and fitness by looking at me? Probably not. But I would venture to say that I have a little bit more knowledge than the average person out there. And it's not a bragging thing. It's because of what I do. Okay. So yeah, when I look into stuff, I for me personally, I look into it in a different focus than most people do, because I do it because I want to consult or encourage or talk what's a good word for it? Intelligently. What's that? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. But talk talk a little bit more of a know-how than the Mr. Joe Lunchbucket. Okay, that's what I'm talking about here. So positive versus negative, going back to that whole thing, and also with the online businesses. If somebody has never attempted to do an online business or be in business for themselves, why would they, why would they think that they know more about it than, for instance, me at this point? if no one's ever attempted to do an online business, I will promise you I know about it more than they do, just because I'm doing it and living it and attempting it. Okay, so that's the positive versus negative. And I don't want to get too deep into that, and I don't want to get into onto the wrong track. But so those are my notes. And again, going back to this day of Thanksgiving, I am thankful for being able to be on here and talk to folks. I'm thankful for having people like Mike out there, my buddy JD, who I'm shocked he's not on here tonight. My buddy JD, and Leon was on earlier. I am thankful that you guys are taking time out of your schedule to watch or listen to me and interact with me. That means a lot to me. And there are folks out there who do this, and they have hundreds, if not thousands, of people on their live. Am I there yet? No. Would I love to be? Absolutely, I would love to be. And I know in my heart it's coming. And little by little, it's coming. Hey, there's another Mike. So I got Mike and a Michael on right now. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Michael. Way to go, buddy. So it's gosh, I don't want to go this direction because I'll start tearing up. It's not the Pope, not the purpose, not the purpose of this is not to tear up, is to be appreciative and be thankful and develop these friendships. Some of these folks I may never meet. Mike down in Florida, one of these days, yeah, I'm gonna go down there, dude. I've been, and I don't know how close you live to the Villages, but I have been looking at the Villages. I am really digging that place, dude. I don't know if you've done anything there before or not, but I am digging the Villages. I'm liking that. The more I'm looking into it, the more I say, you know what, that's right up my alley. I like Florida. 1.5. I'm assuming you're 1.5 hours away. If you're 1.5 miles, I'm like, holy crappy. 1 mile and a half, an hour and a half. Because you live, Mike, if I remember, don't you live over in the Jacksonville area? I think. Is that what you told me? In the Jacksonville area, if I recall. I could be totally wrong with that. But anyway, I've been looking into that, and they have something over there called like a lifestyle visit where you can go for a couple of days and check it out, and you rent like a little apartment there, and they actually give you and they don't call them golf carts, they call them golf cars over there. Mike, done a bunch of building there way back. You're about an hour out of Jax. Okay, all right. All right. Are you a Jaguars fan by chance? Yeah. Because I was in Jacksonville for just a few months. It was starting to grow on me. I didn't know the ins and outs. I didn't have anybody to show me the ins and outs. The place I was working, well, I'm not going to get into where I was working, and it was not the thing I wanted to do. I was hired in to do the thing I wanted to do, but then contracts changed, interior, and things just didn't happen the way I got hired in to do it. So then they had to shift around and put me someplace else, and it just didn't work out. So that's why I'm not there anymore. Okay, Mike said his kid's a Jaguar fan, but he doesn't care about football, to be honest. Yeah, I'm the same way, or I'd be watching it right now because I guess there's a game on right now, but oh well. But going back to the thankfulness of things, yeah, it's easy to get swept up on not being thankful. It's easy to get swept up on, oh, woe is me. This is never going to happen. But again, I go back to, you line up 100 people and tell them what their worst thing that's happening in their life is at the moment. you probably would not want to change with them. It's just that simple. So the bottom line is if you have, and my mom's always said this, my dad's always said this, if you have a gazillion dollars in the bank, that's great. But if you don't have your health or you're not able to enjoy it, what's the point of having it? Right. So health is a main thing for me as I'm drinking my whiskey. Go figure. Um, I also believe in my heart that a drink or two of whiskey a week or spirits or what have you is not bad for you. Others will say, absolutely not, don't do it. Others will say, hey, that's fine. My dad had a couple of different cardiologists. One says, absolutely no wine, don't drink wine. And my dad's Italian, he's going to drink wine. The other cardiologist says, yeah, a glass of wine the day won't hurt you. So guess what? Guess who he listened to? And I don't blame him. I do the same thing. So, you know, you can pinpoint to one thing, but it's overall. It's what you do overall that really matters. I had somebody sit down with me last night, and I didn't encourage this, who just started spewing all this health stuff to me. Didn't ask for it. Don't know why he did it. And all of a sudden, he's coming across like he's Mr. God's gift to the health and fitness industry. I'm just looking at him. I'm thinking, I didn't want to be rude. First of all, I don't know why he's even started bringing it up. Lana, hello. Oh, Lana, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. I'll put this one on the screen so people can see it. There you go. When you're healthy, there's so many things you want to do. When you're sick, you only want one thing: to get well. That is so wow. That is great, Lana. Fantastic. Lana's a health nut, lack of a better term. She knows her stuff inside and out, and it's fun to talk to her. So, yeah, you have to be on my interviews one of these days, Lana. We'll have to do that. Mike, holy moly, Mike! I'm thankful for every one of the 40 people I spent the afternoon with, my immediate family. 40 people, holy moly, dude! That's a lot of people. Did you do all the cooking? You know what my cooking consists of today? Because I went to my sister's along with all her in-laws and everything else. My mother and I went over there. My cooking consists of getting a veggie tray or veggie plate from Sam's Club. Everybody brought something, and we was asked to bring the veggie tray, so we did. Went to Sam's Club and got a veggie tray. But 40 people, dude. You know, a few times when I lived in Cleveland by myself, and in Florida, a couple of times, I was fine being by myself. I didn't mind. The one time in Cleveland, because I spent 2 Thanksgivings in the Cleveland area. On the second one, I didn't get asked to go any place, which was fine. I wasn't expecting anybody to ask me to go to their place or anything like that. On Thanksgiving Day, I actually went to the movies, and I watched a triple header. Yes, sorry, movie theater, but I went to one movie, left it, went into another theater, went to watch that one, left that theater, went to another one. So I watched a triple header that day. I couldn't even tell you the movies, but I went to a triple header that day, and it was great. Loved it. Had a blast. At the time, I had my popcorn, my soda pop. I'm sure I got something to eat before I went there. When I went home, I just watched some TV and chilled out. But that was my day, and I absolutely loved it. I had people say, "Well, you should have called me. You should have called me." Well, I'm not going to call somebody who says, "Hey, can I come over for Thanksgiving?" Because first of all, who's going to say no? You can't. And second of all, that's extremely rude. if somebody wanted me to come to their place, they would have said, "Hey, Andrew, you want to come over?" But then you're in a position, well, can't tell them no. It'd be rude. And so you're caught between a rock and a hard place. And when you're single, it's almost like people are inviting you over for the sympathy thing. And you know what? I should do that one day. I should get a. I should. I'll schedule that. I do a popcorn and whiskey, popcorn and whiskey, popcorn and whiskey on being single at my age and the benefits and the setbacks on the non-benefits of being this. Let's see, Mike. We all did the cooking, then went to my sisters and ate, played a few. Uh, played a few canes after had a few shots back home, ready for a food coma. Played a few games. Okay. Games probably. Played a few games after had a few shots back home, ready for a food coma. All right. A few shots of what? I didn't think you drank, Mike. Games. Why am I thinking that you don't drink or didn't drink or something of that sort? Anyway. Yeah, so that will be an interesting topic. The benefits and setbacks or drawbacks, benefits and drawbacks of being single at my age and being single at different ages as you progress, the 20s, 30s, 40s, and beyond. And beyond. Had a few shots of Crown, dude. All right, dude. You're getting up there with the more top shelf stuff, if you will. All right. I have a buddy of mine, and a guy I haven't seen him for a long time, but last time I did, it was about 6 months ago. Him and his wife, before they got married, we used to hang out and used to drink Kessler's and Coke. Kessler's is a cheap rock gut whiskey. Kessler's and Coke, and with a little bit of was it lime? Yeah, Kessler's, Coke, and a lime. And I asked them if they still drink that, and they said, "Yep." And I said, "You know what? I should get some just for nostalgic purposes because it was good. Kessler's and Coke and lime. Yeah. So anyway, what else was I going to talk about? Let's see. I talked about positive versus negative. Talked about the thankful for everything. The positive versus negative. Let's see here. Let's see. I have a list of things, a list of topics I keep going here. Let's see, Lana. My daughter and her boyfriend made tamales. Ooh, my grandkids baked. So good. We played throw axe and I skateboarded. Oh my gosh. I want to see videos. I'm sure there's videos. Not very well though. I need practice. Well, we probably all need practice skateboarding. I mean, skateboarding was big when we were kids. And as we got to the adulthood, not many of us kept going with the skateboards, right? I was one of them that didn't keep going with the skateboards. Since Lana, you and I have talked several times one-on-one, and we've never brought up skateboarding before. So I'm going to assume you're probably not the most graceful right now on a skateboard, but I'm sure you can change that really quick. But yeah, I'm sure there are videos because you mentioned grandkids. So, and if I recall, you say your grandkids are early 20s or something of that sort. Those folks have phones and they're not going to get away with them. They're not going to abandon their phones. So I'm sure they was taking videos. She's not, she said. And give you an example where I was today. I walked into one room, it's somebody's garage. We had a bunch of chairs set up at there and tables, and all the guys over 40, there were 4 guys over 40, probably 4 guys over 50, probably the same 4 guys over 60. But anyway, the older guys we're talking, and the four younger guys, all 35-ish and younger. I think the oldest was maybe 36. They're all on their phones, not conversing, not doing anything. I just found that really sad. I purposely left my phone at home. I did not bring it because I didn't want to be married to it. And it's just shocking once you're step back from it to watch how people are so tied to their phone. And I'll admit, I'm probably one of those as well, but today I wanted to make sure I was not. So if you try to call me today, sorry, wasn't around, didn't have my phone, didn't have any way of contacting anyone in the real world, or the outside world, I should say, the cyber world. So I didn't have my phone with me. And you know what? Didn't miss it. Didn't go through withdrawals. Didn't go with, was it withdrawals or withdrawals? Withdraws or withdrawals? Did not go through either one of them. So Lana, I kept my phone in my purse. I didn't get any pictures. Okay. All right. So that's two of us. So I wonder how many others. I should put that poll out there. Who didn't, or who played with their phones or didn't play with their phones today? I swear with this younger generation, even people my age, because there was a few others who were there today that 50-ish, they wouldn't put their phones away either. So I guess I just come from a different platform. And when I say this next part, I'm not saying this in a negative way. It was a fun day, great day. Had some great conversations, nice company, food was delicious. But when you contrast that with what I experienced a few months ago in Italy, now it wasn't Thanksgiving, but we did have a big family get together. Complete opposite. Everyone was engaged in conversations. People were going from person to person, talking about this, talking about that, whether you were older, younger, so on and so forth. Yeah, some of the younger folks did have their phones out, but everyone was engaged in conversations. Today, not so much. When people sitting around eating, there was no talking going on. Now, you're not going to have 20 Italians and it's going to be quiet. Ain't going to happen. Sorry, it just ain't going to happen. Sorry for my English there. Nowhere in Italy is that going to happen. You gather 20 Italians together, unless it's purposely going to be a quiet place, like a movie or church or something. But you at a dinner table, yeah, that ain't going to happen. There will be some sort of conversation going at all times. There's probably 5 different conversations going on at all times. Yeah, Lana, do it. Post. Okay, yeah, we'll have to make that post and go on there. But yeah, it was interesting. Interesting and sad at the same time to see the younger folks glued to their phones. And I was going to get into a few other aspects, but that's not the purpose. I don't want to say negative stuff. So the like I said, the food was delicious today. We had the traditional stuff, the ham, the turkey, mashed potatoes, noodles, green bean casserole. They had deviled eggs, of course, all the traditional stuff. Had a veggie tray, courtesy of me. What else did they have? They had 2 or 3 other things going on there. I didn't see any stuffing. The person who's supposed to bring the stuffing brought something else instead. I was told. I mean, I don't know. I'm not complaining because I ate way too much and the food was delicious. And of course, there were leftovers. It always is like that. Me too, by the way. Okay. I think Mike's talking to Lana there. Yes. Mike and Lana are both saying happy Thanksgiving, and you too, by the way. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. The community that is being developed. Ooh, Mike, he made broccoli and cheese and spinach dip. Ooh, broccoli, cheese, and spinach dip. Wow. Wow. I like that already. Oh, I'm a big fan of spinach dip. Big fan of spinach dip. The restaurant I used to work at back in the 90s, I was a server slash bartender at a restaurant, and our one of our signature dishes was our spinach dip, and served with tortilla chips, and it was out of this world. It was delicious. I can still taste it today. Yeah. So spinach dip is another one of those things that stuffing is bread. Ugh. Oh, so you made broccoli and cheese and spinach dip separately. Okay. So, okay. Okay. So you had a spinach dip, then you had a broccoli and cheese. I'm assuming like a little platter or something, right? So, oh, here's a funny story. So, without getting into a lot of detail, I'm in a position where I'm taking care of my mother. So, her and I live basically under the same roof. Okay. Uh, Ugh, now, yum, then. Ugh, now, yum, then. I got it. I got it, Mike. That was good. Ugh, now, because you ate too much, but yum, then. Yeah, yeah, I'm the same way. But so yesterday, mom had to run a bunch of errands, and we eat lunch and dinner together, sitting at the table all the time. We take turns cooking. Sometimes she does, sometimes I do. She says, "Well, take something out of the freezer that you want to have tonight, and we'll eat it. We'll prepare it when I get home." All right, no problem. So I wait a little bit. In the freezer, we have a bunch of Italian sausages. So I take a few of them out to thaw out, so so I can cook them. And I said, "Well, I have a nice big salad with some sausages and maybe some beans or something." Um, Lana, I was asked to bring olives. I love me some olives for the martinis. There you go, Mike. And so I took out sausages, and mom comes home. She goes, "You get something out?" I said, "Yeah, I got sausages." She goes, "You don't want to eat fish tonight?" And I said, "Mom, if you wanted to have fish, why didn't you tell me you want to have fish?" So I said, "I could put the sausages back and I could take out the fish." But she said, "Whatever you want, take it out." So that's what I wanted, but she wanted fish. So got to make mom happy, right? Absolutely. And it was delicious. We had a good meal. We always do. We always joke around cooking, so it's so much fun. And I tell people all the time, if you can learn to cook, that's one of the funnest times you can ever have is in the kitchen. But that's just me. Uh, Lana, no alcohol day. Actually, obviously you weren't with Italians. Obviously, obviously you weren't with Italians. Italians, no alcohol. I don't think that exists. What the heck? We even drink at the church. But today, for me, there was beer aplenty at the house I went to. I had one beer, and that was about the extent of it. And then my drink tonight, so that's about the extent of it. So, as I ate way too much, back on the horse tomorrow. That's right. Back to the workouts again tomorrow, and starting next week, I will be changing up my workouts a little bit, and we'll see how that happens. And I'm getting something prepared for this business, the Top Fitness Strategies. That's what I was going to talk about before. Yeah, because I'm switching everything online. I'm switching everything from this platform, which I had it, and I know for those who don't understand internet stuff, don't worry about it. It just understand that I'm basically switching everything from this building where I had stuff on for visual aspects because I had stuff on this site, this website, this website, this website, this website. So I had to all piece them together, which is how it used to work, how I used to do it. I had to piece everything together um, to now a separate place where everything is already housed in the same place, so to speak. So it's like if you went from one 4-story building and you had to keep going from floor to floor to do different things over to a one-car garage where everything could be done inside the garage with more efficiency and more and ease and more better use of your time right there. So that's basically what's going on at this point, and everything's slowly but surely transitioning over. And I'm really starting to dig it. And the more I'm getting into it, I'm finding it to be a lot more beneficial for the way I want to do things. Okay, is it the tried and true right way to do it? Don't know, but it's more effective and more streamlined of how I want to do things, if that makes sense. Um, Lana, I grew up Latter-day Saints, so we only got grape juice. I tried to tell them Jesus turned water to wine. We should respect that. Yep, absolutely. Do whatever floats your boat there. But like I mentioned, that the party I had in Italy, well, I had a bunch of parties in Italy, but when all my family got together, all my cousins got together, which is a very rare occasion, only happens when my sister and I go over there to visit. We have 14 or 15, I got to count them up again, first cousins on my dad's side, and plus their spouses, and plus a lot of their kids were there. So go figure how many people we had at this place. And set it out outdoors, no radio, no TV. Of course, the kids had cell phones, but there was wine, there was grappa, there was beer, there was this, there was that. So we had alcohol aplenty. We had alcohol aplenty. And yes, we indulged in it. And I got to say, when you have times like that, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Not disrespecting anything that happened today with me or where I went or anybody else, but for me, when you're with family like that in that capacity, that's something special. Which I talked about that before. I'm not going to get into it today, but I'm thankful for that. All right. Should I fill this up some more? No, because I'm going to call it a night. And I appreciate everybody being on here. I appreciate the thankfulness. I thank everyone for being here. That's right, Lana. I did not gain weight at that time because I ate healthy. Yeah. Unlike today, where I promise you that wasn't health food that I was eating today. Yeah. Mike, I've always been 420 friendly and a little drinking. I did not know what that meant, what 420 friendly meant until I moved to Florida. And here's how I did it, because it was 2006-ish. It was about this time, 2006. So it was 19 years ago. Yeah. Holy crap. It's been 19 years. Wow. When I moved to Florida. And Craigslist was big at that point. So I was looking for a room to rent in the West Palm Beach area in Florida. And all the places I was reading, it says 420 friendly, 420 friendly. I didn't know what the heck that meant. I figured it was like an area code or something. I didn't know. I had no clue what 420 friendly meant till I got down there and I started asking people, what does that mean? It said, it means weed and stuff. Like, oh, I did not know that. So I personally don't partake in that. My buddy JD does, and he's open about it. And so he says when he comes on my show, we call it popcorn and whiskey and weed. There you go. Because he doesn't drink. Mike, you only had one plate today. Great. All right. I want you to cut this out of your vocabulary. I've told you this before. Don't say this fat boy only had one plate today. Cut it out. Cut that kind of talking out, my friend. All right. Niceness is over. Now I'm going to be coming at you hard. That's right. You're going to be in for it. Is because I got too much faith in you, and I respect you too much, my friend, for you to be telling yourself that. Cut it out. First lesson, cut it out. Positive thinking. Stinks. I'm pointing up here. This too. All right. Absolutely. Mike, it's the secret code. Okay. Shh. Don't tell anybody about 420. Shh. I have never partaken in that kind of extracurricular activity. Never have. And don't talk bad about it. I'm just not, it's not my cup of tea. Okay. Lana said, cut it out, Mike. You heard her. Cut it out, Mike. You're better than that, my friend. So, yeah, I'll sick Lana on you. Then you're in trouble. She'll get on your ass about talking positive and negative stuff. Meet you on the mat. I use that as positive enforcement. Okay. All right. That's good. But don't put yourself down. Speak as if it has happened. Speak as if it has. I mean, that's hard. Speak as if it has happened. Okay. Speak it into existence. Speak as if it has happened, or speak as if what it is. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So, all right, my friends, I'll call it a night. Thank you so much. This has been great. We will definitely be on here again soon, and we will get into more subjects on the all right, Mike. You ain't met someone as positive as I am, and the truth is a motivated. All right. All right, yeah. Mike, okay. I'm gonna hold you to it, my friend. And I keep doing it. All right, friends. I'm out of here. My name is Andrew, Popcorn and Whiskey. I am the face who runs the place. Get over here. Thanks for being here. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Till next time, this is me. Ciao.